We are back on Get Up, and our next game is Believe It or Not. Hey, Orlovsky.
Yes, sir.
If someone said Jordan Love is an elite quarterback, you believe it or not?
I do not believe it. I believe that he has the opportunity and the talent to do that, and the expectation was for him to take that jump this year. He wasn't healthy enough, in my opinion, to actually do it, but he was 20th in the red zone, and he was 22nd versus zone coverage. He's got the talent that anybody would crave to be one of the best in the world. He's got to put the consistency of that together.
So, Harry, did people like me anoint him too soon at the end of last season?
Entirely too soon. And for Jordan Love, he needs to learn to value the football, especially when you touch it every play offensively.
All right, let's go down to Darnold. J-Mac, if I said Sam Darnold deserves an extension with the Vikings, you believe it or not?
Believe it. Now, I don't think it's this mega massive extension that's been talked about, but he is a guy on a short extension to see what you have in J.J. McCarthy that you bring back. Sam Darnold has proven he can win games. He maybe just can't win the game.
Dan, Darnold on the Vikings or elsewhere next year. What do you want to see?
I'm going to say Sam Darnold is elsewhere. I think Minnesota has to have the conversation of keeping him in their organization. Sam Darnold has proved he's a quarterback you win a lot of games with if you have the right people. But I also believe in the last 2 weeks you realize you don't win a lot of games because of Sam Darnold. I do think his price is going to be too high to pass up, and he'll be elsewhere.
All right, and then, Harry, let's go to the Steelers. If I said they should bring back Russell Wilson, believe it or not?
I'm going to go not. When you look at that division, you have Lamar Jackson, you have Joe Burrow. And if Cleveland finds a way to get a quarterback in there that can do something, then you're behind the 8 ball if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers. They need to figure out this quarterback situation because it has them hemmed up like a pair of pants.
Well, then.
All right. All right.
That's okay. I like that analogy. And then the question is also, is the coach hemmed up for the foreseeable future? Are there any questions about that? Yesterday, Hawk, who had a good day, had this to say about the future of Mike Tomlin.
I think Mike Tomlin should want to move to another situation for that exact reason you talked about, because they're kind of in this QB purgatory, kind of like where Andy Reid was post Donovan McNabb with the Eagles. He is too good of a coach to be put in the position where you typically get one of the top quarterbacks. In the AFC, if you don't have Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, or Joe Burrow, it's going to be tough sledding with the team that you have.
So there's really two questions that we can ask here. The first one, of course, is directed to Shefty. The second one, I think, is the more interesting one. Yeah. But let's just – you reported last week that at least one team had reached out to the Steelers to check into this. Tomlin himself seemed to just shut this down the other day. Does that mean there is, in your mind, no chance that he winds up changing teams this offseason?
That's what that means right now. And he signed an extension with the Steelers. Steelers ownership is sticking with him, and he has given zero public indication that he's interested in moving on from the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have a marriage. Neither side is willing to look in another area right now. And so, yes, unless there's something that's being said behind closed doors that nobody has heard, that nobody realizes, yes, Mike Tomlin is expected firmly to be the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And that is probably the right way for this to go.
Yes.
But here's something that I've said multiple times this week. I have the utmost respect for Mike Tomlin. I think he's a great coach. I have the utmost respect for the loyalty of the Pittsburgh Steelers organization and the Rooney family. I think it has served them extremely well for almost 60 years. But 18 years is a long time. 18 years is multiple lifetimes in the world of professional sports. And sometimes change for change's sake is good for both parties. Sometimes it might be in Mike Tomlin's best interest to get a fresh start somewhere else. And it might be in the Steelers' best interest to get a fresh set of eyes and ears in the building, as they have done successfully twice since 1969. What do you think?
I just respectfully disagree with that. I think the two major issues that happen in the NFL in a negative fashion is, number one, the constant changeover at head coach because we didn't win enough in our first 32 games, so we're just going to fire you and hire somebody else, and we force quarterbacks to play too early when they're not ready. And so to sit here and think that we're just going to get rid of Mike Tomlin as an organization, and we're just going to go find another really good football coach that's really smart, and he's going to do a as good or better job also without a quarterback is lunacy. I mean, quarterback-wise, like, the Steelers are closer to the Tennessee Titans and the New York Jets and the Las Vegas Raiders and the Indianapolis Colts than they are the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals and the Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens.
Because of the quarterback.
So we could sit here and have okay, we move on from Mike Tomlin. Does that mean we get the number 1 draft pick or something?
No.
So what are we talking about?
They're almost worse off than those teams because those teams know where they stand. They're kind of caught in the middle to what Hawk's point is. But Shefty, you brought up the thought of a marriage, and it's that 80-20 rule. Sometimes you leave for the 20% that you feel you don't have, and then you get stuck. I don't think the Steelers should move on from Mike Tomlin. To your point, a really good football coach, and you don't just change just to change. This is a team that made the playoffs last year where Mason Rudolph was the starting quarterback. We watched what Russell Wilson was during the last 5 games of the season. They were still a playoff football team, and we're taking for granted the coaching job that Mike Tomlin has done since Ben Roethlisberger has gotten older and since they've moved on from him.
Would rank them, just as far as like the quarterback performance-wise, over the last 3 or 4 years, bottom 5 in the conference. Yeah. That's where you would seat them.
The conversation is more about figuring out how to go get a quarterback.
So that's my point. When it comes to general manager Omar Khan and also the Rooney family, that's the direction they have to go. Now, granted, I know 2017, the Kansas City Chiefs, they were at 27. They moved up to 10. They drafted the standard, the guy that's in contention for taking Tom Brady as the GOAT. You're not going to hit that home run every time. But they also –
you got to swing.
But in 2020 – the Pittsburgh Steelers drafted Chase Claypool 5 picks ahead of Jalen Hurts. Poor Himbo. Thank you, Himbo, for that stat. So that was an opportunity right there. You got to figure out how to go find your quarterback because you don't have a chance if you don't.
And by the way, Mike Tomlin's been a part of these decisions too. You can't tell me that he doesn't have the loudest, most prominent voice in that organization. So the fact that they've been unable to get the quarterback is as much on him as the playoff pressure.
Sure. And so they didn't hit on the Kenny Pickett, fingers crossed. It didn't happen. So, but that's like the reality is this. If you're the Steelers, what do you think is more likely for your future and finally getting over, I guess, that hump or whatnot?
Quarterback or head coach?
Well, what's more likely, that you move on from Mike Tomlin and not only do you find a coach, but also find a quarterback? Or you keep Mike Tomlin, you know at worst you're going to be 9-8, 10-7 with Harry at quarterback, and let's go find a quarterback. Let's break the mold and maybe get aggressive. Let's move up. Maybe we roll the dice and get a Jalen Milroe. Like, let's find a way to get on a level playing field.
And just to finish it, once again, I think Mike Tomlin is an outstanding coach, and I can prove it. His team has exceeded its projected win total, according to ESPN Bet, each of the last 5 seasons. So 5 years in a row, they've won more games than Vegas thought they were going to win when the season began. This is not about him. All right, hold on. We'll come back to this.
He's boosted it, baby.
He has boosted it, baby. Let's do Get Up and Go. It's brought to you by Nature Made, and let's dive into the college football championship game Monday, Ohio State and Notre Dame. Dan, quickly before I get to that game.
Yes, sir.
Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers announcing he's going into the draft. Is he ready? Is this the right call?
Yeah, I think it's the right call. Number 1, he is a very physically talented thrower of the football. And then 2, major parts this year were the clutch performances by Quinn Ewers. I think the question mark, and he'll be a very fascinating study, is while he's unbelievably physically talented throwing the football, sometimes the production doesn't match that talent, and they've got to figure out as an NFL community why that was the case. But he will be very intriguing for a lot of teams.
Mel has said repeatedly he should go back to school. He's at this moment saying he's not going to do it. I got to get to the game Monday night. Harry, all the chips on the line. Notre Dame wins the game if what?
Number 1, they found a way to run the football. Easier said than done because Ohio State in their 3 playoff games, they're only giving up 62.3 rush yards per game. Also, you have to figure out a way to create explosive plays, not at the top of the total poll when it comes to Notre Dame football, but they can take advantage of their running back, Aeneas Williams, coming out of the backfield because Ohio State's linebackers got exposed versus Texas.
Danny, the other side. Ohio State wins if what?
If they can defensively force Notre Dame to be a pass-centric offense, force Riley Leonard to beat you through the air. Now, Riley Leonard has had so many clutch plays. He's unbelievable to watch in those moments. Massive performances with his legs and a lot of good throws last week. This is a national title game. If you're Ohio State, Riley Leonard's going to have to beat us through the air.
And so, again, not that you need any additional motivation to win the national championship game, but everyone is picking Ohio State. And by everyone, I don't just mean the 3 of us. I haven't found anybody yet that is on the Irish. We will see what winds up happening. Okay, again, that game is Monday night, 7:30 Eastern, ESPN, ABC, and everywhere.
And they'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack.
Okay, you know my bias
out here. A lot of people would think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
3rd and long, it's Smith escaping the pressure right. Slings this deep. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington.
One more to go. Now that was a fight. Solid work.
King Aries right there. Fuck him up. Fuck him up. Alright, he got you. Get him, Tristan. Fuck him up. Tell him to fuck him up.
10 seconds.
Gonna be a hit marker. It's silenced.
Let's go.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
He could have had that. He could have had that. He literally sat there.
Oh, yeah, dude. I don't know why.
He could have killed you so easy. He made that easy for us.
Trash cans, dude.
That was probably the 1 and 8 dude.
Probably was.
Hey, do you think it's a good thing Madeline and I broke up?
Yeah, 100%.
For some reason, I can't stop like thinking about it. Like she was like a good person, but like I don't think us as a relationship was good.
She cheated on you, dude.
I know, but I mean, like I kind of see like why, because like I was kind of shitty to her in like the aspect where I was like she was trying to have sex, and I was kind of like just like you can. Yeah, she cheated on me twice. She cheated on me twice. How can I say that?
Are you like unless you're like beating her? No, there's no like. No
yeah, I was
valid
like,
excuse.
I was a good person. I mean, just because we didn't have sex.
They're making us fight for it. Keep at them.
Oh. Oh!
Hostiles in the area.
Yeah.
I've got you.
spotted.
Enemy attack chopper is out. Bring it down.
Thanks, sorry guys.
No! Leave?